Whoa, has Apple's G4 Cube suddenly been reborn in the form of a modified Mac Mini? Not quite, but somebody 3D printed a case that mimics the vintage G4 Cube for their Mac Mini. And that somebody is Reddit user SYL Sunny, or at least their friend, but this is pure nostalgia that meets innovation actually in the form of this custom case. I don't know what it is, but there's something about this new Mac Mini that just has people going crazy with accessories. They love the accessories. I see it in the stats. They can't get enough with the modifications. It's just like a little machine. I feel like it has so much personality and it brings out the personality in the people that buy it as well. And you see what they do with it. And this is a good example. If you're a retro tech fan, especially a retro Apple fan, you've been around for a while, or you just like the old stuff, this gives a modern twist to this classic design. That does leave some people though kind of questioning the practicality as I see what people are saying about this. And they're like, well, is it not even as good as the original if you do this? Is it just purely for aesthetic reasons? I really like the bespoke angle here. When somebody comes up with something that's just uniquely theirs, that's really cool. 3D printing often enables that. Now, I don't know if they have plans to maybe like productize this, sell it, or like release the plan so other people can do this. What this kind of feels like is a way to own a piece of Apple history, but in a new form. I feel like while everybody's out there talking about this design and it's causing a big stir on many different places around the internet, are we missing out a little bit on the opportunity to sort of have a comeback tour for this retro Apple look? Don't get me wrong, I like the modern Apple aesthetic. I like the iPhone, my iPad, the Mac, I like it all right? However, there's something about the classic, the vintage, traditional Apple aesthetic that just has a charm to it. And I'm guessing, okay, if Apple came out with a special edition of any of their products that was classic, that was old, it might be a killer seller. It's kind of funny though, because in a way, it's like putting a vintage suit on modern tech, right? There's the suit right there. It's just a fun way to blend the old with the new. You literally have the performance of this great, amazing new piece of hardware that Apple put out, paired with the classic look. I mean, it's just, it's cool. My question is, how did they think of this, right? You're just sitting there and you're like, you know what this needs? It needs to look like this old Powermac Cube or whatever. I mean, some people are really creative and clever, and some people just unbox it, stick it on the desk, and they're done. I feel like that's mostly me. And when I get creative, it's like, well, how should I, configure my desk setup or what's on, like I'm not thinking about these sorts of modifications, but it's the people that do this that, will make money off of people like me, right? I would go out and buy something like this for sure. At least if it could deal with the heat properly. I know a lot of people have been like, well, is that bad for the heat? Can it dissipate the heat? Can it deal with the heat? I'm kind of curious, like this person might have a business on their hands. Like, will this maybe spark a trend for custom 3D printed tech accessories for Apple or otherwise? It's just a trend that you see over and over again where you are nostalgic, for something and you want also the latest, greatest thing. And you look for a way to sort of have the best of both worlds, right? You're watching your old TV and movie shows or whatever on this great new TV, right? You're blending the best of both worlds. And, we see remake after remake after remake on all the different digital platforms. And this is sort of that. Like, this is a remake in a way with the brand new actor. There's actually a more interesting discussion to be had here. There's only so many ideas out there to grasp, right? This happens in the world of superheroes, right? Online. There's only so many Marvel superheroes that someone could even invent, right? Or universes for them to exist in, and superpowers and stuff. Because at some point, you're going to have to start hollowing out a previous superpower or character or universe or something, because there's just only so many ideas, right? You're always referencing back to something. And so here, I feel like this kind of represents this notion that sometimes you got to look back in order to move forward. A lot of this is generational. Maybe we're going to see more of this retro trend continue. Cruising through the comments here, this is pretty funny. Someone said, if this is made by Apple, it would cost 129 bucks. That's probably true. And actually, people are already asking for modifications. Like, hey, can you put a cutout here or whatever? Man, I think this person has really got a business on their hands. What's your take? Leave me a comment.